morning, everybody. Welcome to the Green Room. We're still stuck in legislative session, okay? I apologize. It's going on week 3 now of the same topic.
Thank God it's only, no, seriously, we only have 2 months.
There's only 2 months of session.
Explain that to people, Rudy, because people don't know that they only meet for 2 months every year in
I know,
Florida.
in the state of Florida, it's unique. State legislators, they only meet 2 months out of the year, and it's usually around the February timeframe, February-March timeframe, or March-April timeframe. So everything gets crunched into these 2 months. So you have bills that are introduced, like hundreds of them, because these legislators go back to their district and their constituents for, basically 10 months, and then for 2 months they sit in Tallahassee and then vote on all these bills. And all these bills, like the one for medical marijuana, which is a ludicrous bill, comes up and they debate it, and a lot of times there's not enough time for rebuttal even, or properly handled rebuttal, just because of the 2-month time frame. And so, as you know, Dr. Barry was in Tallahassee a week ago, and he got 30 seconds after someone, Representative Roach, had 2 hours to present why people should have caps on medical cannabis. And so today there's another session at 9:30 in front of a new committee going on at 9:30, but a very well organized rebuttal this time as a news conference at 12 o'clock held by a lot of providers. So this is exciting news for us, that at least like someone like Dr. Barry and the people of his caliber who have boots on the ground will actually address some of the issues of this bill, because otherwise those voices do not get heard properly in the chamber of the legislators. So that's us in a nutshell.
That is right. Believe it or not, Texas only meets every other year. Believe it or not, how can that be? Well, that just shows you. Unregulated state, as they like to say.
Just take your gun and go.
Take your gun and go. So we do. So we're in the 2-month legislative session. Today's, and just to give everybody an update. So nothing has passed yet.
No, not yet.
Right, and very important in Florida. The House and the Senate have to have matching bills at the end of the session that then go, or whenever it happens, that then they go to the governor for signature.
So there's still hurdles.
Right, a lot of hurdles. And we're hoping that the Senate, will do what they've done in the past. Listen, everybody, we fought this THC cap, but this bill's worse, and we'll talk about it too. A bunch of other parts to it. But the point is, we fought off the THC cap the past 2 years already. Last year, just for pediatrics. But, the point is, we are very much more so organized, today. And I am excited about the news conference at noon.
Me too. But again, like the thing that upsets me is, one, they don't listen to the providers that are boots on the ground. They don't listen to patients and their families who are truly affected by this on a daily basis.
Over 500,000 patients.
Over 500,000 people in this state use medical cannabis. And you have kids who are epileptic and having seizures that this assists them. All of a sudden they're wanting to take certain things away, even for pediatrics, and we can address that. They want to have very low doses, and then you have to get medical sign off by 2 doctors, which they have already, and they're not trusting the physicians. And I think the most insulting thing from that Roach was, Representative Roach.
That's okay.
Roach. From that Roach was how disgraceful and how nasty he was towards the medical profession, saying he doesn't trust them. They've done pill mills in the past, that these cannabis physicians are going to do exactly the same thing, and just horrible.
So let's talk about today's committee meeting. So what happened was, it passed the first hurdle in that House committee last week. So it's got to go through 3 different committees. Today's committee is a different committee. Now he's going to give
many of the same people. And
many of the same people, which is good and bad. Carlos Guillermo Smith, our champion.
It is, but let's have the big but and the big elephant in the room. Our legislator and our Senate are very Republican held. And they tend to vote down party lines. They did that very clearly last week.
Well, they did. And, we're the Green Room. We try to keep it nonpartisan. No, but it should be. These are nonpartisan issues.
And I'm sorry, this is a medical issue. This
should not. Human issues.
This is not red or blue. And the fact that those legislators are voting down party lines, and this is the Green Room, this is not appropriate for them. They should look at their constituents, look at patients, this is a healthcare issue. It is not not red, blue, white. It's green or what you call it, anything else, but it is not a political issue. And it's very scary. And they shouldn't vote on these kinds of things.
And Don, our producer, as he always does, picked out a wonderful backdrop for us today because the doors are closed. See, I mean, that's why this picture is so significant.
It is.
This is what bothers me about what's going on in the House. So Representative Roach, with all due respect, he comes out of
he has no respect for me. I'm sorry.
He comes out of he comes out of interdiction. He comes out of interdiction. He's I think a Coast Guard JAG attorney or whatever, and that's his world. And what bothers me about it, and what I want to see today is this, Ruta. So, he already cried out to the press, foul, because of the significant heat that he's taken on social media. Social media, Facebook. Keep it up, everybody.
Yes, keep blasting the guy.
But let's be respectful, of course, okay?
No, he was, no. I'm sorry. Ruta, the Republic, this is where the Democrats piss me off. Take the high road, they take the low road. They're in the gutter all the time. They like to fight dirty, they fight in the mud. There's no reason why, if this man is insulting you as a physician, saying that he thinks he knows better than you, BS. And I'm like, I'm sorry, let's call it out. Do not respect him. He is not a physician. He should not be telling patients what to do. It is not his right. And I'm sorry, that's my soapbox.
No, I mean, that's okay. I mean, let's face it, we don't want anybody threatening anybody's family, of course,
or going
over the line.
No, don't cross the line.
Right, so it's very important to maintain a certain degree of civility.
No, you don't threaten people's families.
But what I'm interested to see is if this guy actually gets up again and gives the same presentation.
Oh, I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will.
And
you don't think so?
And gives the same presentation as last week. Listen, you like to think that people can learn and grow. Representative Roach, if you're and Don, you can cut this one, mark the time, okay? Representative Roach, if you're going to get up again today and say that cannabis is a Schedule I narcotic.
That's where you come in.
Narcotic. It is 5 times again this morning. Okay, and if you're going to repeat your vision, view, words, okay, that people are abusing the system, the doctors are abusing it to get rich,
and the patients are just getting high.
Abusing it to get high.
Great.
Then you haven't learned anything.
No, he has.
And you haven't listened.
And that's the problem.
And that's going to be bad.
Yes, I agree. He needs to listen. And then what is he going to do? Swallow his words when the feds descheduleize and take it off Schedule I when it's not a narcotic because it's not one?
Well, it's not.
I mean, come on.
But the point is, you have to understand what's going on here, everybody. This is and listen. There's 3 bills in the committee today. Okay, if you're paying attention, everybody, and I do. One of the other bills is giving $100,000. Are we off, Don, or just our?
It's just the video.
$100,000, because I don't want everybody to miss this. $100,000 to Drug-Free America, so that they can teach us about the dangers or whatever of cannabis in pregnancy.
Oh my
now, hang on, Don, mark this one too. Listen, here's my suggestion, everybody. Give it to Dr. Janester Wilson King, okay, my colleague, okay, who's an OBGYN clinician who does medical cannabis, who's written in medical journals about cannabis and women's health and pregnancy issues and things of that nature. Sure. Drug-Free America, really? $100,000, really?
I feel like we're back in the Nancy Reagan days of just saying no.
So here's my point. Representative Roach sits on the Drug Policy Council for the state. It goes beyond this. Everybody who's watching, if you haven't watched last week's, or, oh my God, what could this week's hold, okay? He was condoning cannabis with opiate use, that people that use opiates want to use more cannabis, and people that use cannabis, darn it, they're going to end up using those opioids too.
Yeah, it was interesting because when Carlos Guillermo Smith said, can you just give me a quote of how many of these half million patients in the state of Florida have overdosed on cannabis? Oh, that would be a 0. And how many have passed away from it? That would be a 0. Yet for some reason it's like this huge cloud over it now that it's just a gateway drug to opioids. It is not. People are coming off. It's an exit ramp, as I don't remember who the gentleman was on our show. One of the people on our show said it's an off ramp.
Yeah, it's an exit drug.
It's an exit drug. It's not an on ramp. It's the off ramp. people get off of things because of it.
So if he's standing in the way on the Drug Policy Council of a legitimate discussion about how cannabis can be utilized, okay, appropriately. Listen, it's a substance. And let's get down to where all this comes from right now, okay? This is all smart. I finally figured out what SAM means. It's smart approaches to marijuana, okay? That's Kevin Sabet and Patrick Kennedy, okay? Drug-Free America, based right here in St. Pete. Yeah. They're the ones that are driving this, everybody, on a national landscape now, okay? National stage. You're going to start to see that because they've lost the legalization battle, and they have, okay, and they have, now they're morphing into cappers, okay, into we need to minimize danger, okay, this and that. Listen, everybody, adverse events happen with every substance. Salt, sugar, caffeine, okay, opiates can kill you. Alcohol kills you.
Wine every day.
Right, a lot of things kill you. And of course, cannabis can have an adverse event as well. And we're going to get back to it in about 20 seconds because it's important to talk about, because they always hang their hat on the same flawed studies of psychosis in developing brains. And believe me, we're concerned about that too.
And
as a medical clinic, no one's advocating
that. No physician in his right mind, him or her, are going to jeopardize a medical license. Are you insane, Representative Roach, that any physician would put their medical license on the line? They went to school for 8 years and they are not going to put a license on the line.
And to infer that the doctors are getting rich, listen, I never go that way because to make it personal, but we put our licenses on the line, Representative Roach, my DEA prescribing license, okay? I mean, believe me when I tell you, I have a wonderful staff here, okay? We all are out here with passion, practicing with honor and integrity. Medicine. Let's not confuse legal adult use issues.
And I think he is. Maybe that's an issue.
I know he is. Once again, he's carrying the banner of SAM and Drug-Free America in this now we need to minimize harm battle now that we've lost the legalization battle. How you minimize harm is by education.
It's education. To trust the physicians and their staff to educate patients. And you know what? We welcome Representative Roach, not in an argumentative stance. Come to the clinic. We're inviting you. We challenge you. Come to the clinic. Come see what a patient does when they walk through our door after an hour visit with Dr. Barry and with our educators, where you are educated on product, educated on adverse reactions, educated on the entire plant. Come, we challenge you. Come see us. Don't just make these blanket dumbass statements when you have no clue. Come on in. We challenge you. We welcome you. We promise you we'll stay, hands back, and we'll just go through as if you're a regular patient in the office.
Oh, listen, our state senator, friend Joe Gruters has been here before.
Most politicians have come through the doors here.
Listen, come on a tour with Senator Gruters. Seriously.
Yeah, really.
Representative Roach, it would be a great, way to do that. And we invite you to come in. I think you'd really be surprised when you see and you know what? Listen, doctor stories are doctor stories. The news conference is going to be great.
But and I can't wait for it. It's the patient stories. You can, and just for, we're going to tag Representative Roach on today's episode, obviously. So that's why we're referencing speaking to him personally. And honestly, I have to say, I was not an advocate of cannabis until I came to the clinic. I still don't have my own card, and I don't use it personally. However, what I have seen here for patients is truly amazing. And the stories and the tears and the desperation when a patient walks through these doors is incredible. And it will shake you, and it'll change your life, and it will change your opinion. Because honestly, it changed mine. And it was just because of what you see as a plant actually helping someone. And in a desperation, you see these parents crying tears. You see patients with cancer crying. You see people with tremors in wheelchairs who are in desperation, and this gives them relief, and it gives them some betterment of their own life. And that's all they're looking for. You need to come in and see it for yourself. And please do not make blanket statements without doing so. And I learned my lesson to also keep an open mind, because once you open that mind, it will change your life.
And to put a level of anxiety onto the 500,000 and more now patients in Florida over the loss of their medicine.
And it's
let's face it.
You're going to take Coumadin away, Losartan away. Really?
In this anxiety-inducing 2021, masks haven't gone away. A lot of these patients have chronic debilitating illnesses already. You can imagine the level of anxiety trying to navigate through COVID. And now they have this as an added level. There's no better things to do in Tallahassee right now
add this level of anxiety and stress to patients, who are already the PTSD patient, the vet. Really, for Representative Roach again, he served in the Coast Guard. Your fellow people were in other military branches overseas who lost limbs.
Oh, and he's hearing it. I read the Twitter threads. I read the threads.
And I implore again, everybody, contact his office. Tell him this is ridiculous. If you're a patient, even more so. He needs to hear it. He's not listening. He is not listening.
Because here's the point. We need to stop this year, okay? We need to stop where we get put on the defensive side of the battlefield every single year. We were hoping to come into this session with positivity, okay? Mm-hmm. Fortunately, the group of doctors, okay, that we meet every other Wednesday, okay? We've been planning and writing letters hoping to get reciprocity state by state. That's an amendment in today's bill. There's going to be 3 amendments, by the way.
That's a good one.
Another one is to increase the card to 6 years. Watch, that'll be an unfriendly amendment, guaranteed, okay?
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I know Carlos Guillermo Smith is also putting a recommendation in to get rid of basically all that capping of the milligram amounts of THC, one of the more subtle, parts of the bill. But and believe me, all those amendments will fail, again today. It's unfortunate.
But this is the thing, like why as a state are we so far behind other states? They're quoting all this research. Well, why don't you go to Colorado, take a road trip, go see what's going on in California, places where it's been rec and medical for years.
And now that you've mentioned the word research, Ruta, it's a really subtle but very important point about this whole thing. How can we stop doing the research on the medicines that we're already using in the state? We have ongoing research efforts. At 6:00 this afternoon, by the way, Dr. Michelle Weiner, Dr. Denise Vidot, and Eric Stevens. Jenny Perdomo is supposed to be on that too, but I think she's in the hospital right now, and I want to give her all the best out to our dear friend Jenny down in Miami. But the conference this afternoon is on the research efforts that are going on in Florida right now. So what if we take our medicine away and decrease it in potency and this, and then you're going to ruin all the studies, Representative Roach. So we're really not going to find out what we want. But I want to get back to my point. We were hoping for job protections, okay? You don't think that bill's going to get a hearing? We were hoping for expungement. Now, interesting, expungement did get a hearing in Senate committee and passed unanimously in Senate. Yeah. So there's a difference between the House and the Senate right now, which is really important to know.
It is.
But we want to continue our telehealth capabilities. One would think that would be an easy thing to be voted on. That was viewed an unfriendly amendment in last week's hearing. Also, sickle cell disease, okay, called an unfriendly amendment last week, okay? So we were hoping for added qualifying conditions. We need nursing home access. Okay, assisted living access. When somebody goes into the hospital and they're a cannabis patient, they should be able to pull out their cannabis card, okay, and use that as their medicine in the hospital instead of the Percocet or whatever else they're going to throw at you.
They already called it a medicine. Once you deemed it a medicine, you cannot take it away from a patient. Who are you to make that call?
Some people are good losers, Ruta. Some people aren't good losers, and you said it already. They're vicious.
They're vicious. They're vicious.
And leave my patient's medicines alone.
Yeah.
Okay. And leave my doctor-patient relationship alone.
It's inappropriate.
If you have examples of bad actors, okay, that are out there advertising.
Okay, for those outliers, really, go address those outliers. But you have so many physicians who are doing the right thing. You have so many patients benefiting from those physicians and what they're doing. And from
there's advertising restrictions as well.
Yeah, now they're doing advertising restrictions because every marijuana clinic wants to attract a kid to come to their clinic. It will have Mickey Mouse smoking, a joint. Like that ever has happened, and it's not happening. No medical clinic of any merit will ever advocate this for children. Are you crazy?
So they want all the advertising. They want all the advertising to go through the OMU, signage. Okay,
it's all going to
even social media.
Oh yeah, social media. And so where are the amendment rights? The First Amendment rights, freedom of speech, and where is all of that going for us as a cannabis industry? That you're so restricted on advertising, media outlets. Really?
Now there may be outliers on the advertising, and we know some of them. Okay, believe me. Then let's go after
those. But if you're advertising your clinic in a normal fashion as a medical practice, you're not doing it to attract children. You're not attracting people to go get high. I never see like if there's some outlier out there, perhaps there are, and we maybe saw a few of them that are trying to draw that crowd, address those people. But the bulk of physicians, are not doing that. And no doctor in his or her right mind will be targeting children, and that's their big concern, is attracting children to cannabis. And I'm sorry.
It's a parenting issue. It's a societal issue. It's an educational issue.
It's not. Why should it be on the burden of the doctors? If your kid's gonna go get high, they're gonna go get high.
And they're gonna find it on a black market, and they're gonna find it in a black market environment where they're more likely to run into a methamphetamine dealer as well, or somebody that has Adderall, or somebody that has other. Listen, regulation is regulation, and it's just that. Once again, we're going to see what's going to happen nationally, right? Which, there's a lot of misunderstanding about that all of a sudden it's going to go, they're going to make decisions in the Senate, and the MORE Act's going to pass, and it's going to be suddenly legal nationally. And that's going to take care of all the problems. Of course it's not. What that's going to do is it's going to send it back to the states, okay, for states' rights and states' decisions. Really important today, everybody, Thursday again. Supreme Court decisions come out. We're still waiting for the Joe Redner Flora grown case to see about the breaking up of the verticals. We're still waiting to see the Supreme Court review on the 2022 ballot issues that may bring, quote unquote, legal adult use to Florida. But what I tell my patients, and I think everybody needs to know this, when it gets to the legal adult use side, or whatever other people call rec, okay, legal adult use, they're going to tax the heck out of it. You know that. That's the only way it's going to happen. I mean, there's such a negative attitude about it. The only way that, the Republicans, let's get down to it, they're going to have to hold their nose pretty darn tight, Ruta, while they put that 20 or 25% tax. Okay,
good. And you know what? It's revenue. Cannabis. So put it back into education, put it into our roadways, put it into programs, social programs, put it into minority houses, building tiny homes, giving people something. Tax it and benefit from it. What the hell is wrong with you people? Other states put it into education, and their systems are flourishing. This state is so hell-bent on being backwards. And I'm sorry for all those Republicans, if they think their teenage kid isn't going to go to college one day and go try marijuana. You did it yourself and you tried it. You don't think your kids, there was no harm. You became a functioning adult. You went to college, you graduated, you're raising your families. Some people need it as a medicine, and that's it. It's like, come on. It's
once again, it's a substance. It's a substance that's been used.
30-year argument.
It's a substance that's been used for eons. It will be used for eons. We're stuck in the era of 2021 with a significant pharma mitigated and governmental mitigated prohibition against a simple plant, right?
And
that's what it is. It's a simple plant. It's a medicinal miracle plant. They forget about the juicing capabilities of the cannabis plant.
And it's not just smoking. It's creams and tinctures. There's so many other pills. There's so many other avenues. And the majority of our patients are our average age patient is 58 years old. They're not some teenage kid coming into the clinic.
And listen, the gateway theory, Representative Roach, I got it. We want to protect society and children.
You know what? As a parent, do your job and do it out. But
protecting people against themselves, okay, quite frankly, is educational. And if you're addicted to alcohol, you're addicted to opiates, okay, much less methamphetamine, cocaine. You lumped cannabis in with all those substances last week, okay? I can't wait to watch today to see if you step in that pile of crap. Yeah, good. Again, no, I mean it, because you need to learn. And if you're going to sit on that drug policy council with these attitudes, I'm going to be after you as long as you're in that position, because you need to understand what I know as an emergency physician. This is what I wanted to say last week, and I apologize for repeating it. I'm Dr. Barry, not Dr. Bertha Madras, okay? I've been in the ER environment, bud. I've held the hands of mothers, okay, while their kids are dying from narcotic overdose. I've resuscitated the same addict twice in the same day, okay? I've seen the rotting teeth of meth. I've seen the swollen livers of alcoholism, okay? I've seen patients vomiting blood and dying, okay? I've seen cocaine cause arrhythmias and death, okay? I've never seen an adverse catastrophic event from cannabis. There's adverse events from everything. Let's be a parent. Let's be a legislator. Let's be a teacher. But you need to learn. You need to learn where we're at as a society today in 2021 is one where doctors should be leading the way on educating.
Amen. Amen.
And you're stopping me from doing that. You're standing in the way of a legitimate discussion on your drug policy council about where we need to be in the next 5 to 10 years in this country. And it's not on your side where you're holding up your hand and stopping my patients from being educated and appropriately treated so that I can clean up some of this goddamn mess, okay, that was caused by past generations.
I agree. Well said. And
so,
and
you know,
honestly,
that's where I'm at on. People ask me where my passion comes from. And listen, here's the other side. My passion also comes from sitting in this office every day now and being on the other side.
And see, but that's the thing. Come see the patients. Come see hear the stories. See the patients walking through this door. And like you said, or go hang out in an ER, Representative Roach, where you are going to see.
I can arrange that too.
Yeah, let's have them go take I do
ER.
too, in the trauma center of SMH. Come on out. Why don't you come see what really is the opioid problem, what the alcoholism problem, all of those, the meth problems are. Don't compare that to medical cannabis. All you have to do is spend a couple days in the ER or the trauma center and spend a couple days here, and you'll see the difference. And then speak. Don't speak out of your ass of some stupid study that was done like 100 years ago, and that's all you got.
Well, there's pressure. He's got pressure from Sam and Drug Free America.
Okay, so those are his donors.
Hang on. Prison.
I'm sorry. I'm going
to
start. And Representative Roach, I am going to go do a little research on where you get your donations from, because if there is a tie-in to private prisons, there's your answer, and then we're done. And
listen,
follow the money trail, because there's a money trail behind him too.
Prison industrial complex, Drug Free America donations.
There's a money
alcohol, tobacco donations. You know, I mean, the fuel to the anti-cannabis movement, you know, has different tentacles to it.
Oh, it does. And there's groups and lobbyists who
but veterans are going to die, and people are going to suffer and die.
I hope the veterans come out in droves and keep bombarding the legislators with the need to stop this.
Well, you know, it's a very interesting session, of course, because of COVID.
Yeah,
and we'll see who's up there today. I think there will be a few positions up there.
I think at 9:30.
Who wants to go be up there and be insulted for another 30 seconds?
Yeah, be insulted for 2 hours and then get 30 seconds as an MD as a rebuttal. It is insulting, and shame on the legislators. Shame on you.
But I do want to give a big shout out to friend Ron Watson, who was with us last week, of course, who was up there still doing his thing. Eric Stevens up there this week. Listen, some of the bigger medical cannabis groups in the state also up there this week, lobbying and doing their thing.
And doing their thing.
And I thank them for all that. We all are working
together. I know
John
Morgan's doing a lot.
I hope John Morgan gets on our news conference today. I mean, that would add a couple of eyes. I doubt it. I'm teasing.
No,
maybe he will. Maybe he's watching.
But he's pushing. I mean, his webpage, his Facebook page, he's pushing.
Well, he is.
He's pushing back hard, because again, he has also a personal story behind it of his brother. Yep. So people who are touched by medical cannabis, those are where the passion comes for this plant. It is, and again, I just wish they would open their ears a little bit and listen, and just listen to the patients and listen to the need. And again, if you've deemed it a medicine, it's no different than somebody taking something that you're dependent on, like I said, your Coumadin, your Losartan, whatever you're on, it's the same thing. It's a medicine, and you cannot start playing with somebody's medicine. You cannot. They've been on it for 3 years. You have 500,000 patients on this. This is insanity, and it's just inappropriate.
Yeah, let's see how today goes. You know, this is the second of 3.
It is the second of 3.
That Representative Roach gets a chance to, you know, soil himself again, or maybe start to kind of edge closer to some degree of understanding. Okay, you know me, Ruta, I'm an inclusionist. Our door, and I know you invited him, I do too. Our door is always open. So I'm hoping to see a little bit of positive today. I am. I know it's going to fail. Go through the House, of course. We know that. We just want to see something, Representative Roach. Show me that you're learning. Okay.
And for those who are watching our show at 9:30 this morning, tune into the Florida channel.
Very
because
easy to find.
If you want to start screaming at a TV because you missed those days, because since the last election, and you really want to get your blood pressure up and want to start yelling and screaming, tune into the Florida channel today and watch the session, because it will make your blood boil. And we hope it does. And then we hope that you and all your friends that have been touched by medical cannabis start making phone calls to the state legislators.
They're making a difference, by the way, everybody. Believe me.
Those phone calls make a huge difference.
Petitions signed, patients calling. Believe me,
they have to hear. They have to listen to their constituents at the end of the day. They really do. Do we have a question?
Patient just said, I will have to leave Florida if this evil bill passes. How dare you politicians think that you are physicians? No THC caps.
Yeah, no THC caps.
And could they hear you?
That's not the
no. And for those, if you couldn't hear what Don just read out, it's a comment we just got on our live feed from a patient saying they would have to leave this state. So, I mean, this is because it's their medicine. So please take this seriously.
What a terrible commentary.
But it's a true, this is a true commentary. So this is live on our feed right now. It just came through. This is why, please watch the Florida channel at 9:30. Afterwards, find out who your legislator is. Please call them, bombard them with phone calls, bombard them with emails, make it known that this is something you're against, because they have to listen. They have to. And it's a matter of not of life and death to a degree, but to a degree it is, because this is something that people have been on for 3 years, and now you're changing their medicine, and it's just inappropriate.
No doubt. So let's fight on. And listen, next week, I guarantee you we'll be back with an update on what happened today. And here's the good news, everybody. 2 months in Florida. So we're going to be vigilant, pay attention every day. Even if this goes down in the Senate, and hopefully it will, they're going to try to put it in some other bill later in the session, probably in the last week of the session. They're not going to go away. So we need to remain vigilant every single day of session.
We do. So tune into Florida Channel 9:30, and we'll catch you next Thursday.
Everybody. Oh, the news conference at noon.
News conference at noon. Right. I don't know who's going to be broadcasting it.
I guarantee it'll be on the Florida Channel later.
See you guys. Bye, everybody. Thanks, everybody.
Beautiful.
Yay.
Nice.
Gets all the frustrations